It is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Ali Maui in here on a brand new installment of Yap Daily. It is Friday, September 10th, and oh my goodness, I saw a message earlier today from Mr. Tim Stewart, aka Coach Papa, on the last night, go to sleep, everybody's happy in the history of the United States before things changed forever for the world, really. And that's 20 years ago. When the crazy 9/11 events have occurred. And I don't know where you were. I certainly remember I was in Morocco at the time, and my mother was living in New York. So you could only imagine me watching the craziness occur. And it was, anyways, I just pray that you have healed and you are in a much better place, and you're celebrating, God forbid, you have lost anyone during those horrible events. But today I want to talk to you about what are the ratios? How many people do I got to talk to get somebody started in my business, right? That's a fair question that everybody asks, especially if you've never had the opportunity to build an online business, network marketing, home-based business, or have never had what's called measurable success. Therefore, you're probably wondering, am I doing enough? And I'm going to educate you a little bit from my perspective and from my experience of 14 plus years. But I want you to keep in mind that when you are prospecting, when you are talking to individuals, you could do everything perfectly right, and you can still have somebody saying no or not enroll with you right away, because you never operate on your time and you operate on theirs. You never operate on your budget, you operate on theirs. You never operate on your passion, you operate on theirs. So while you may be saying everything perfectly right and talking to the perfect people, you're still going to have many individuals that you would think they are perfect for my business not get involved, not get enrolled, not even become a customer. So don't take that personal. And this is why we focus on the law of averages versus just no one wants to start with me. That's the wrong attitude to have. Okay. So let me know where you're chiming in from, and let me know if you are in business. And if this is your very first time checking us out, the Young Entrepreneur Project is the world's greatest entrepreneurial community that allows you and I to either start, grow, or scale a business. Plus, you can monetize by mentoring other individuals in the different verticals that we have, build a legacy for yourself, have passive income, and even earn stocks. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The Young Entrepreneur Project is going public, so we are excited about that as well. So let's get after it. First things first, remember what I said. Do not take it personal, and do not get upset at the fact that somebody's not getting started because they are operating on their own time in. They may have the time and the money, but the time in is something totally and completely different. I, per se, many times every single day, I get 10, 20 people a day. Hello, Mr. Medawi. I looked at your profile. You're amazing. You could be great for my business. And by default, I say thank you. I appreciate it, but the timing isn't right in my life. I'm extremely focused on what I have. Moving on, right? Keep it moving. So while they think this guy's got a network all over the world, he does. This guy's pretty awesome. He is. This guy's got the most beautiful hair. He's got the personality and the attitude. Yes, he does. All right, let me stop. But what they got to understand is he is extremely focused. His calendar and his time and his resources are dedicated to his existing members and to the shareholders as well. I have a responsibility to our shareholders, right? So by default, I make sure that I stay connected and I interact with everybody, but I let them know right up front the timing isn't right. And sometimes people get it. Most of the time, rookies, they don't. But you don't have to do anything. Well, that sounds you like unicorn land. I mean, why would I want to be involved with a business that you don't have to do anything, right? You don't have to recruit. Dude, what are you trying to do right now with me? You don't have to sell anything. Okay, so what's the product? Tomatoes. Okay, so I have to sell them, right? And I'm using tomatoes as an example, so I'm not taking a jab at any industry. Now, with that, personally, I'm going to share with you what has worked for me when I was working 90 hours a week at a restaurant about 14 years ago. When I started a network marketing company, it was in the telecom industry, and there was no, there was MySpace. Facebook was just trying to show up at the time, and I didn't know how to use it. So what I was doing is old school phone calls, text messages, building a list of 100 people, right? And by doing so, I was told the more people you talk to, the higher chances that someone is going to take a look at your business. And then I asked, well, Mr. $1 million earner, how many people you talk to in order for you to close somebody? They said, usually I get 1 to 3 people to sign up out of every 10. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Those are some crazy ratios. I mean, think about that. But that's the anomaly. That's the rare few. Then I started really doing my homework and I started documenting how many I talked to whenever I had somebody get started. Now, remember, this is Ali with no influence, Ali working 90 hours a week, Ali, not who do you know today, but before, way before what I was still developing. And I would average 1 out of 30 people would get started with me. Now, here's the thing. There are 2 mindsets that just got triggered. Did he say I got to talk to 30 people to get one? Or cool. So I just got to get to 30 people so I know for a fact I'll guarantee myself one. See, if you have that mindset, now that was bad Ali not knowing social media back then. I am giving you the worst case scenario. You may end up doing 1 out of 20, 1 out of 15 because of the information that I'm providing to you right now. But again, it all starts with having the proper mindset. First one is going to say, did he just say I got to talk to 30 people? I'm not going to talk to 30 people. I want to automate and spam everybody and send an email list to 30,000 people. And no one's signing up still. Because if that worked, why isn't everybody having success, right? So understand the law of averages, right? Now, how do we get to 30 people and why is it important? Now, let me explain. Remember what I said earlier this week. I don't prospect everyone. I pre-qualify, meaning I talk to everyone and I pre-qualify them and then I prospect them when I feel like our stars are in alignment. So here are the numbers. Oh, first of all, how you get to those numbers. First things first, let's just focus on Facebook for a second because I know there are many ways, but I'm going to talk to you about Facebook. That's my hub. Birthdays. On average, you have 5 to 15 people every day you're going to say happy birthday to. Memories, all the way in the bottom, it tells you who you've been friends with, right? They call it friendiversaries. Sometimes you have 5 to 10 people. Guess what? We're at right now so far at 10 to 25 people, right? And then you have the timeline. So one thing that I do in the timeline, click on menu. And there's one thing on your news feed that's called most recent. When you click on most recent, it changes your news feed to chronological posts versus algorithmic. See, algorithms are showing you what Facebook wants you to see. Chronological, I see it based on who's posting. So when you post in real time, I get to see the most newest post right away. So I know that the person has their phone in their hand. And I just send interactive messages. Something like, oh my goodness, I haven't talked to you in forever. How the heck you've been? Or, hey, I see you're an entrepreneur. I'd love to learn more about you and your professional background. Or, hey, I know I met you last year in this event. What the heck's been going on with you? What are you working on nowadays? Real, organic, genuine human element conversations. So for those of you who say I'm old school, Facebook is the best old school platform for you. Facebook is the networking platform for you where you get to interact with individuals. Or you can go to Facebook groups. Do not make the mistakes that I've made myself a lot, such as just spamming and posting a flyer of your event. You know how many people do that? If it worked, everybody would be $1 million earner. But a flyer gets thrown out in the mail. A flyer gets deleted in your email. A flyer gets removed from the windshield, and we just put it inside the car until we find a garbage can and we throw it out. Right? A door knocker gets ignored. A radio ad we change the channel. We pay for DVR, or we remove cable so we don't even deal with ads. So don't be a flyer in a group. If you are in a group, use the group timeline. Hey, great post. Comment in there. Give them a like, and then go into Messenger. Hey, I just wanted to double down. That post was so motivational. We belong in the same group. I hope it's okay that I can send you a friend request. See, these are different elements that you can generate leads, that you can create interactions with people. It doesn't mean you're prospecting right away, but those interactions are allowing you to pre-qualify the person if they're the right ones for you and or not. Now, I just gave you so many different ways to attract new leads. Yes or yes? Now, what do you do to take it to the next level? So I personally, with those 30 people that I interact with, I start having dialogues, because once they respond, we're in dialogue mode. So what's going on with you? How you been? How did the pandemic impact you? Are you working? Do you work from home, or do you work in an office? I see beautiful vacation pictures. Where'd you guys go? I just keep going and having a natural, organic conversation. Ultimately, and eventually what happens, the person would say something like, how about you? That's what I'm looking for. Or what do you do? That's what I'm looking for. The reason I'm looking for that specifically, because it gives me the opportunity to say, well, I'm actually working with thousands of people across the globe, and I help them either start, grow, or scale a business, or I help individuals increase their portfolios, or I help people get the healthiest version that they can be themselves by using water. Depends on whatever element that I want to focus on, based on the conversation, based on who they are, based on where we're going with the context. So from there, I just knocked on that person's door, right? They either are going to say, how does that work? What do you mean? Is this MLM? Is this coaching? Is this trading? Whatever they ask. Then you lead them to, for many of you who've been with me for a while, well, let me give you access to a tour site, or let me give you access to a Facebook group where I can just give you freebie videos that you can watch. I'll add you, and let me tag you in a couple of videos, and let's chat some point afterwards. Most likely with one of my best success stories, just so you can get some insights. That's the ad tag message, right? $1 was $1 million. Now, I'm giving you this fast. We do it methodically. We have training videos in our entrepreneur community. This is why you crazy people need to be in Young Entrepreneur Project, but that's a conversation for a different time. But let me give you some numbers. Let's say right now, you do the 30 connections and or interactions and or pre-qualifying and or prospecting per day, right? And don't tell me you can't. You're scrolling all day long. I see you liking, commenting all day long. So don't tell me you can't. I know you can't. So 30 times 5 days. I'm giving you Monday through Friday. That's 150 people. 150 people times 4 weeks. That's 600 people. Now, we're not prospecting all. This is just connections. Let's say out of 600 people, first of all, when was the last time you interacted with 600 people? It's pretty crazy, right? 90%, not interested, not responsive, lied. They said they're interested, they're not. 90% are gone. That's 60 people left for you. When was the last time you had 60 qualified prospects that wanted to talk business? Not bad, right? And let's take those 60 people. You're having great conversations. You're exposing them. You're adding them into marketing systems. You're adding them into the group. You're getting them on three-way calls. You're getting them on webinars. Everything is going great. But let's say 90% of those 60 people don't have money. My wife won't let me. My husband won't let me. This is too good to be true. Whatever excuses and reasons that they're going to give you, right? Out of 60 people, if we remove 90%, you still have 6 people who are just signing up with you. Now, here's the $1 million question. When was the last time you enrolled 6 personal people per month in your business? See, the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. There are plenty of people across the world. As a matter of fact, last I checked, they make people every second of the day in this world. And the funny thing is, we, just by increasing our exposure, our interactions, our connections, our pre-qualifying, our prospecting, is going to create more opportunities for exposures. Remember, I gave you a 90% failure Out of 600 people, I said only 60 are still somewhat interested, are still willing to be exposed, are still willing to get on a call or a Zoom. And out of those 6 interested people, I told you I gave you a 90% failure as well. And only 6 people got started. Now, if you know anything about the Young Entrepreneur Project, with 6 people, you can make just a little over $3,200. I'm not talking about building a team here. If just those 6 people come in at any of our verticals to get educated, to be mentored, to build, start, grow their own businesses, it's $3,200. Can you use $3,200 a month with a 90%, over 90% failure ratio? So it's not working. Now, we're just not talking to enough people. Or maybe we don't know how many people we need to talk to in order to get to that. And again, remember what I'm telling you right now. I'm giving you the worst case scenario. Some of you are professionals. Some of you talk to 10, 1 to 3, get started right away. Imagine what that 3,200 becomes. There is the ability for you to really become a top earner in the next 30, 60, and 90 days. It's just we don't know what we don't know. And the last piece to it is that we have limited beliefs. Yeah, but, well, man, whatever butts that you're carrying right now, you need to like go to the closest garbage can and throw them in there. Because you're talking to somebody who literally comes from a third world country. You're talking to somebody who said me no English. You're talking to somebody that did not grow up in this culture, that did not grow up in this country. You're talking to somebody who once upon a time was suicidal. Once upon a time was living in the streets. Once upon a time, it was just hard, a rock bottom. So I empathize with whatever it is that you may say. Yeah, but with all the respect, I don't feel bad. Because I know if I could get out of that circumstance, I know you can as well. I know if I got myself out of that struggle and I understand the law of averages, I just gave you right now the biggest nugget if you are network marketing. Because if I understand how many people I have to talk to get a commission, I know now I just have to get to that number. But if I don't get to that number, it is me. I'm responsible for the lack. I created the lack of results. So again, identify your averages. The worst case scenario, you need to do 30 a day. Best case scenario, you may be doing 5, 10, 20 a day. Congratulations. Awesome stuff. Let's keep at it. But the worst thing you can do is nothing at all. Some people talk to 2 people a week. They're like, I spoke to 2 people and they're not interested. This stuff doesn't work. Really? 2 people? Let me give you a 9-to-5 job. And your responsibility in a restaurant is to bring in clients, to bring in customers, to bring in guests. And if I'm the owner of that restaurant and you're the manager, salaried $60,000 a year, and your job is to get me customers to buy burgers. And when I meet you, I say, hey, man, like, what's going on? You say, well, I sent, a message and I called 2 people. That's why the restaurant is empty. What do you think is going to happen? You're probably getting fired, my man. So it is absolutely important for you to make up in numbers what you lack in skill. Jim Rohn, right? He said, I can make up in numbers what I definitely lack in skill. And your limited beliefs is just the story that you keep telling yourself. See, a belief is a thought that we keep having over and over and over and over again. A belief is a thought that we keep having over and over and over and over again. A belief is a thought that I keep having over and over again. A belief is a thought that hopefully you got that belief system going right now. The truth is when a group of people collectively believe that very same thought to be the truth. That's why there's religions. That's why there's politics. That's why there's all these different organized truths, if you want it, right? Right now, we live in a crazy time. A lot of people believe that this is planned. Other people believe that this is, really a pandemic that is going to go away soon. Others believe we're doomed. This is the end of times. So a belief is a thought that we keep having over and over again. So what thoughts are you having right now? What thoughts are you having right now? Like if you knew, like you knew, factually speaking, that whatever I think about right now is going to come true in the next hour, would you be aware of your thoughts? Because that's literally what happens. They call that subconscious mind, the mind that you are not aware of. Like I don't tell myself to walk around when I'm on the phone. It's just a thing that I am programmed of doing, right? I can't sit down and be on the phone. I got to get up and walk around. You know, even if when I'm Zoom, sometimes I got to keep moving. I do this, I lean back, I move right, I move left. I'm programmed that way, right? Until I tell myself, you got to be professional, man. Stop moving. And then I put my hands right in the middle, just like this. All right, I'm relaxed. I keep staring at that lens. So don't lie to yourself and tell yourself, I can't. I don't have it within me. I don't see it possible. You're talking to a guy that I told you my history, and I sit before you as a global master trainer of the world's greatest entrepreneurial community that is going public in 6 countries, as 6 continents as we speak. That's not something that happens to everyone. I recognize that. But this one person worked hard, slept in cars, didn't eat sometimes, been through the ringer, been through it all, made a lot of money and lost it all as fast as I made it. Did about $2 billion of sales. And I got played from every single situation because of my lack of understanding, my lack of experience, and just blind trust to everybody, not doing the right due diligence, not knowing the law of averages, not knowing the law of everything that is around me. But you don't have to go through that anymore because we got you. See, at the Young Entrepreneur Project, we don't want to be the best company in the world. We want to be the best company for the world. And we have the ability to do so because we have a community that actually cares about one another. And we'd like to give you a welcome. Check us out. Hit up the person who literally gave you access or tagged you in this video or sharing this video in their timeline and say, hey, I want to check out that YUP thing, YEP, Young Entrepreneur Project. And I think you'll be very, very pleased with how you too can create a brand new trajectory for your life, can change your family tree forever. And I'm not talking here just network marketing, by the way. I'm talking about you starting a business. I'm talking about you becoming a better husband, a better brother, a better father, a better whomever you want to be. I got a text message from a gentleman yesterday. I actually shared it in my stories. And supposedly he and I talked 2 or 3 years ago. And I spent some time with him, never done business, but I just gave him a whole lot of advice. Hey, here's what you need to do. Here's how you need to do it. Here's who you need to talk to. And I said to him, you have to always be prepared for an opportunity. Like, you may not have a business that you have in mind right now, but just stack up your money, like budget, as if you have a company right now. What would be your budget? Then put it aside. Well, a couple of days ago, according to him, he got a phone call. He wanted to start a catering kitchen. And he got a phone call from, I believe, a district or a company, and they gave him like work for 3 years for 12 hours cooking for like 12 different units. I mean, a full-blown operations. And he sent me a message like 2 to 3 years later. I just wanted to say thank you. I did exactly what you said. I've been ready for an opportunity. An opportunity came, and I have the money to start that business with them right now. Imagine if he didn't. So you just need to be in the right ecosystem. You just need to put the right address for the GPS and go to that city and watch the magic happen. So welcome to YUP. I thank you and I appreciate you. Our Friday is our last day of the week when we do our YUP Daily. We will be back Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But don't you sleep on me. If you have an ounce of entrepreneurship in your bloodstream, you need to hit up somebody from our community and let us help you create your dream as well. Thank you. And until next time, hit up those 30 people a day. Peace out, everybody.